Welcome back to the channel. I'm not going to waste any time. Right now, you're going to see a live stream recording of 2 wins and 1 loss for the New York Open. I was able to walk away with about $500. You get to see a lot of good insight in there, a lot of good commentary, mainly based around an idea that I shared in the Discord. If you're not already in there, join for free. Let's get into the video. Hey, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, Travis? Just messing around with this little bit of a continuation, see if it's going to hold right here. I was looking lower at this, 5-minute and 2-minute order block. I was just filling up my water, so I missed that. So try right here. Pretty much just risk whatever I made in Asia. No, it didn't go anywhere. So with Asia, is just a lot of it was a lot of movement, but every single move would get pulled back on. It would still work, sure, but just the way that I trailed, especially during Asia, it was not optimal. Yeah, whatever. Yesterday was like a good reminder of like what Asia typically starts to look like, and that's kind of I think where we're at now. So, I mean, I'd prefer if it didn't do anything, rather enjoy the rest of my day than have to deal with that. But it's so funny because you have like two schools of thought with people. People will see an entry like this on like a 1 minute and they're like, see, that's a terrible entry because you bought at the highs. But then it just like works immediately. And then it's like how bad could it really be if that's the case? So we'll see if this wants to continue. A light little trade into, 50s really. I like the number 50. That gives me 450. But I also like the number 500. So 5150. Or yeah, somewhere around there. That's pretty much all I'll do. I mean, maybe this still needs to form a bottom wick on the 5-minute, but yeah, whatever. It really should start to work after pushing. It shouldn't want to pull back. I mean, I'm trading ES, not NQ, so it's very likely it just continues right here. This might be, if this trade hits, this will be a pretty easy trade for the morning. I'm also noting that the 4-hour candle is about to flip, so I do expect it to continue higher, meaning this trade should just be something that happens as a result of that 4-hour flipping. However, it could take some time. It could pull back more. It could do all kinds of different shit. But ideally, it just starts to run right here. We're above midnight open now. We've got like lower highs above us resting. So I think even though it is a mid-range reference that we're kind of trading away from, I think there's enough reasons to pull it higher. Yeah, this 5-minute should be stronger than it is. That's the only hiccup right here is this 5-minute doesn't have a bottom wick right here. Yeah, right here. But if it's going to go, it's going to go right here. And thankfully, it's not a massive target we're really aiming for. We'll hopefully get this right before the New York Open. Um, yeah, it's really just this area, whatever number I choose. But yeah, 5 minute. I mean, there's all of this that I could reach for all of London highs. It just depends if this is ready to hold. If this does end up working, I do feel like it's going to be just a little bit slower. I mean, this isn't my favorite time of day to get involved. Location's all right. It's based on that, maybe the 5 minute, I guess. Yeah, like a 5 minute breaker with the midnight open right there. You also have VWAP right there and a pretty clear target above of these relatively equal highs or lower highs. However, it is already like mid move. So this is a continuation kind of in this consolidation entry trigger. You could call it a 1 minute like order block, if you will. Something of that sort. That's like the trade I'm really looking at. Being that it's obviously middle of the run, it's going to take some consolidation, some chop to kind of grind through that area in price. You're also inverting these fair value gaps right here. It's something that I'm aware of at the moment when it's happening. So my thoughts are if we hold above here and then we view, whether it's this one right here or any of these as your order block, change in state type of thing, your continuation order block, then we can be poised to see, or price could be poised to head higher, right? Like that's essentially the idea. It's not overly complex. It could easily work, it could easily fail, but my indication based on the fact that we're holding higher, it's good so far, right? Like we could have easily flipped this candle already and died. But if we hold here inside bar, then run down the next one, maybe get there in about 10, 15 minutes, maybe into the open, right? And if not, I mean, failure is really quick. So I don't need to stop below 36 to know it's wrong. So I'm looking to see if it'll break that series of down close candles, because obviously at that point I want to add just to get to the full 10. So I don't need to trail the stop yet, but once it hits, I will trail the stop higher just so I can keep the risk appropriate, about the same. I don't want to increase the size and the risk. I'd rather increase the size and reduce the net risk. That's typically how I'll add to positions. It just, to me, doesn't make sense to leave the same risk point if I'm adding to a trade. And a lot of times, if I add to a trade too, it's not like I don't necessarily need to have the bigger target or the stretch target. A lot of times I'll add to the position, reduce the size of the stop, and then have a clearer target. Like if it's above a swing high, I might tighten it to the swing high, just because if I have more data that the trade's going to work, that allows me to tighten the risk, but it doesn't mean that I need to aim for a bigger target, because I can just get the same type of profit with an easier trade. That's one option. You can also scale out. So, idea is if we break above this series of down close candles right here, I'm viewing that as an order block. It just tagged it just barely. So, stops right there. It could obviously flip, but either way, it's going to be the same net loss that I would have initially had. However, I will potentially make like $200 more based on that, or something like that. 130, 150. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention, honestly. But the idea is, it typically want to close above, right? This is just tagged in, pulled back. But above these down close candles is going to be the order block, the additional order block, right? So this is my main entry criteria right here. This would be my addition criteria. And you just want to see it kind of lift off. You have all these wicks. So I'm hoping it gets ran out quick, it needs to disrespect the wicks if it's going to work. But either way, I'm in a good spot. I'm in with 10 micros on ES with the same size stop loss that I had with the 7. So it either works, and I'm okay with the risk point too because of what I'm going over. I could even, as soon as it breaks the highs, I'll even tighten it too. Yeah, we got about 6 minutes till the open. So this kind of fails into the open. That's fine. We can always look for a different entry. However, I don't mind where it's at right now. We'll actually just start looking at it on the 1 minute, clean it up a little bit. So this was my entry logic. It was this guy right here. And then I added one on this one. And then you have the 5 minute inversion, obviously. So you have VWAP here as well. The idea is this little consolidation is going to resolve higher or just stop me out, right? So yeah, that's the trade. We'll see. Maybe it just stopped me out and then it's about to go. Interesting. So we'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, pretty much down $40. Get back Asia, which is I don't really care. Anytime I trade before the open, I'm not going to put on like massive size. I won't really risk a lot for that reason. You're going to want to pull back anytime you're looking for a trade entry. So if I'm entering with a consolidation and there's no pullback, it's going to be a little bit trickier for me. Yeah, I might have to run it back. We'll see. We'll see. Above 42 would be the idea. Yeah, I think run it back. If it gets above there, we'll take the same trade again. All right, so that little bit of a sweep. I mean, realistically, it probably shouldn't have had my stop exactly right there, but it happens, you know. It's not the end of the world. The hammer looks good on the 5 minute, right into the open. So we got about 3 minutes, give or take. And pretty much just looking for up here, like 52 area. So about 10 points. Hold a view out basically for the run towards these equal highs. Not equal, just lower highs right here. Right. Also low resistance. That'd be the idea. So I have a set stop of like $200 or whatever I just did. So if this does trigger on momentum, it should put my stop about right here. Yeah. See, so that's why we tried again. So once it starts displacing, I'm going to trail it just like I did. Just because I don't want to get wicked if it flips like it's about to. Maybe give it a little more room. All right, we have the open in 2 minutes. So this will either hit or it'll kind of flop. I don't exactly know how far to gauge this thing. I mean, is it going to run the whole thing? I doubt it. I doubt it'll run the whole thing, but we can try to take some partials out. Maybe like that. Maybe like that. Maybe that's a good approach. I could probably put this below this candle right here. I think that would probably be fine. I do run the risk of getting wicked out again. But yeah, it's this area and price. We had the right idea. We just got trailed out a little bit early, so that's why obviously I'm down $40 because of that. I do think this is a good area. That's why I'm willing to try it again. I'm unsure of where to keep my stop. Maybe just like right here and just not touch it. So I don't need to give it a ton of room because realistically it should just start pressing higher from this point. The 4 hour is about to flip. Yeah, looking for the 4 hour to flip right here. I like 45. This could flop. I have no idea. I do think the candle will flip it right now. However, it is a little annoying that I got shaken out. So we'll see. Yeah, first partials will be off of these highs right here. Second partials will be off at this midpoint. And obviously we'll take some off at that later point. So that's 8. Don't leave 2 runners. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go trail and profit. Hopefully this just takes my first couple. I mean, yeah, hopefully it just takes my first couple of contracts so that way I'm up on the day. Yeah, super anticlimactic trade, but we're up 115 bucks so far, right? We're gonna let it work. Next contract will come off right here. Could take this down, make this 1. Try to hold some longer. I'm up more than I was a second ago, so if this does the same shit it's been doing all night, I'm literally gonna walk. I'm gonna quit. If it comes back and pulls back on me, I'm leaving and I'm gonna go enjoy my day, because that happened to me like 55 times last night, and not having it. Not having it. It's this consolidation on like the 4 hours has been really tricky to deal with. It just doesn't displace. So you get a nice push like this, and then it just doesn't move any further. So hopefully that's not the case. I would like to have this one trade work pretty decent and then be done. But if not, yeah. So yeah, fair value gap right here. I will trail maybe a little bit. Maybe regret it. I don't fucking know. But we'll leave it. I do not care. We'll be up more than we were a second ago. And if not, we'll be up even more than that if it works. So nice little opening drive. That little higher low pullback right there on the 30-second that I'm kind of trailing below. That would have been a good entry. You also have this 30-second order block. Personally, I mean, that's something I would definitely add on right here. But that's just what I would do. Not that you should. I do like those in this market. I do like order blocks a lot right now. I don't like when it goes one tick from my target, though. Is that what that did? Okay. So we'll see. Yeah, right there on this. This is essentially where I'd be looking. I like those entries all day. To trail us even more. Okay, we're up 180, so we'll be up 300 bucks. Is this thing gonna rip? I need to be careful. I don't want to waste it if it's gonna be a crazy move. I fear maybe our targets are not great enough. Yeah, we did not aim far enough, I don't think. Okay, we'll take one off at the 63, leave our trail right here. We'll be up about 400 bucks on the day, but then we need to aim for, I think, fucking 5,500. 5,500. We'll see. Maybe one comes off at 54.80, but I do fear that we did not aim nearly high enough on some of these. London highs should be inevitable. I mean, if London highs doesn't get hit, then yeah, of course the whole thing's kind of chalked, but I don't see why this wouldn't get ran. We had a nice consolidation before the open. You're getting crazy bullish structure, multiple bullish arrays that you can add into. This is like an all-around winner. It's a really, really, really clear trade. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, the entry, I mean, I entered basically, I'm looking at like a 1 minute or 30-second order block around VWAP. It's a consolidation, so it's a little bit different than my favorite type of entry where it's at midpoint. Like I entered mid consolidation, not at like the low or the high or whatever. So a little bit different for me, but it worked. I guess, and then that's it, right? Cool. That's all she wrote. Very great stuff. Very great. Do I do it? Do I check? Yep. There we are. That's all she wrote. So SMT at the highs killed my idea. Kinda, right? Maybe it did. For me, it did for sure. I'm out of the trade. I'm out of the trade, and I believe I'm done for the day. I'm like pretty sure I'm done. I do think that maybe this is a good entry. I'll look at it a little bit, but I don't think I want to take a trade. I mean, fuck, even something like this. I know it seems a little aggressive. It catches my eye. I see this. If we close above here strong, you're risking 10 points, target like 50. It's just going to be up to that 5,500 area. I do think it's pretty clear traffic. I do feel it's pretty free. Again, we'll look at like the 30-minute, just to get an idea. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Like, what do you got? You got one high right here. You got another one here at 5,500. For whatever reason, this is an order block market. I don't know why, but fair value gaps, they're just not as prevalent right now. It's all about order blocks. I don't want it to be that way, or, it's not like my preference. It's just what I've observed and what I'm having more success trading. So Even the entries down here, I'll kind of show you. This is what I was looking at initially. See this black line? I'll make it orange or something. That's a terrible color. Yeah, this orange line right here. That was my initial entry, pretty much on the break of that. Got trailed literally right here. Bullshit. And then I added again on this one and then caught a couple $100, made $400 on that. So at least 10 points. Could have obviously done a little bit better, but not really. I actually did like how I performed there. The trail is kind of bullshit, but everything else is great. I do think I'm done though. I don't think I want to do anything else. Probably finish packing today. But yeah, what did everyone else get into? You guys take anything so far? Hey, those are super aggressive towards the entry or towards the open. I get it, but I mean, for what the day was, like what my expectation was coming into today, I did like it. I do like this right here. Yeah. See how aggressive this is? This is wild. Like it's just whipping all crazy. It looks like it wants to break out like some penny stock. It's just crazy. What Nasdaq looks like shit on the 1 minute. Yeah, what a meme. Like this legitimately looks like it wants to break out. Yeah, so this was 54.40. Now we're at 54.50. We're gonna run 5,500. I mean, I might have to do one contract just for the fuck of it. Like I might have to, risk $50, run this as the order block to target the 5,500. I don't think I need to or want to. I think I kind of have to. Just because it's the idea we've been thinking of for a few days now. So I do maybe need to take a shot at it. So I'm more than likely going to risk like $40 here. Yeah, we're going to do it. Just one. So we're going to go for the 5,500 or 5,550 or whatever it is. It's just a little too dynamic for me to want to sit still. It looks decent. I'm going to give it a shot. I do not want to risk my profit though, so I'll risk the $43. That doesn't really, just to be under 300 if I'm wrong. That's like one meal at Chick-fil-A. I'll be fine. But yeah, if this works, then we could potentially double our money on the day, which you might be saying, why are you going to go for such a big target? Because I think it's like an order of operations here. If this does break, it can start to trigger like that 4-hour movement and, the hourly movement and the higher time frames. It's not just a 30-second trade. And plus it's 8 minutes into the day. Well, this will be our last trade though, for sure. I'm not trying to hang out all day and do this. I do really like this area. That's the only reason I'm interested in it. I'm gonna probably put my stop 50. There, cool. So if we're wrong, we make $400, and if we're right, we make like $800 or something to that effect. There's a difference between like very heavy, weak markets where I can't trade for shit and very strong tapes where I can breathe through fucking walls and stuff. So it is nice to see little bits of that again where it's actually decent because I can it's very, very, very easy for me to get on sides when it's bullish, when it's going up. It doesn't matter what location, I can figure it out. Going down, it's like, dude, I don't even know how to read. So we want this to accelerate. We are now through London highs, which is nice. We caught the majority of the opening drive, got trailed in profit, and now we're long for this breakout move. Fair value gaps right here. You'd want these to hold. You could technically put this thing in profit like this. You don't have to risk. You can leave it. The idea is that this would stay unfilled mostly, all these gaps. If you fail London highs, you're going to probably sweep it. So I'd want to see it hold above. But once charts get extended, one of the things that I always do is I always rotate up a time frame. When the 1 minute gets too extended, you'll see me go to the 2, then 2, then to the 5, just to save chart space so I can read it. Yeah, look at that 4 hour. Exactly what we wanted. That 4 hour candle starting to flip. I'm going to pull it up right here for you guys. Boom. Let's get rid of these fucking levels. See, 4 hour candle starting to flip. So ideally, we materialize the move through prior day high into prior week high just to get 50-50 there, just because I like that number. There's, obviously you have this weekly gap above, this new week opening gap right here. Boom, boom. Which is, let's see, what level is that? Damn, it's almost 55555. So, or 4 5s. There. I don't think we'll get the 4 5s, but it'd be a nice exit price. Just put it there for now. So if you want to see these levels hold, if you look at like a 30-second, you'd want to see these form as a high or low pullback. And if not, like our stop's in a decent spot. So we're fine. You honestly want these candles to close higher. So if it starts to fail here, you'd want to be out down here. I'll even just do it like that. I don't even care. We're going from a consolidation to potentially seeing that reach for external range liquidity. So I do expect expansive moves here. I don't expect it to take a long time. I don't expect it to consolidate. I mean, fuck, look at what we've done since the open. 40 to 70 so far. And like this tape's strong. So as soon as we push like 73, I'm going to trail it to like 63. Just like that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to leave the full stop just in case it gets caught in some sort of like U-shape reversal. Yeah, 15 looks great on NASDAQ. See what it looks like on ES. Jeez, look at this shit. Look at this ripper. So that's why we got involved right here. It's not because, oh, I need to take another trade. I don't want to be in this trade. It's just the chart is so it's screaming at me to the point where I have to take it. So NASDAQ's 19,080 right now. You'd want to see that hold above 19K. So yeah, 79 is going to be prior day high, I believe. No. It's a certain high. Yeah, we already broke. Yeah, we're already clearing that. So what a move so far, right? What a fucking move. Show that just a little bit. Anytime you get kind of stalled out, I always look at these little guys, these little pullbacks. So ideally, any sort of down candles are going to be your order blocks. You'd want to see them flip real quick. You want to see them hold, right? So sometimes I'll look at the lower micro time frames to see if these are going to form hammers and then start pushing. But if not, I mean, it's more than acceptable for it to fold right here. That's perfectly fine. It's already made a big fucking move. Like, honestly, it's made a massive move. If I was in with more size, I would obviously be taking stuff off right here, but just using one, there's not much I can do with that. I'm going to either hold it for all or just the trail. You have this little fair value gap right here you'd want to hold. So one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to move my stop. I don't care if it pulls back. I'm not playing the game with it right now. This is an area where I demand higher. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, if you want to pull back, because this thing, it'll pull all the way down. It'll go all the way down on you if you let it. So yeah, you'll see entries like this. This is what I'm always looking for when I'm in a strong tape. I'll look for something like this. If I have like 3 or 4 of these, right? If I have 3 or 4 micros, I'd be able to add one right here. But if I added one on the break of this, it would bring my average up way too high and I would barely be in profit. So I don't necessarily want to do that. It's just kind of playing the average game. So my average is right here. I like that. It's very clean. If we can keep going higher, then we do have potential to make a lot. But again, it's not a place where I want to be greedy. It's more so just proof of concept. In this type of trade, from 58 to 70, I would have been taking like 3 off into 70. I just didn't use all that much risk. You want to see this either hold right here or kind of fold? We'll see. Are we bulletproof? A little too soon to tell. We might be bulletproof. Nice. Awesome, dude. Hell yeah. I love that. I love that. Entered at 54, 53. Yes, I mean, you got a little bit better entry than this one right here I'm in. That's fucking great. 650, yeah. Wonderful day. Cannot complain about that. I like the structure a lot. Very clean, in my opinion. Glad you're able to catch a piece. I do think this keeps going if we can get above these highs, obviously. I mean, also, I just got to say the amount of times that I've been like one tick away from getting stopped like I am right now lately, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. Like this week, it's been not too bad. Or maybe last week. It might have been last week. I don't know. It's still early for me. But I keep seeing this where it's like one or two ticks, or for NASDAQ, it'll be like 1 point. And I'm like, wow, that was fucking lucky. So I will never be like, oh, yeah, that's skill. No, it's called luck. Apparently, I got some of it right now. Yeah, let's see what the stop is. 53, yeah, 63.50, 62.50. So I was 1 point off. My stop was 1 point off getting hit right there. All right, new highs soon. Come on, stop playing around. Let's go. Look at this breakout time. So if I had more size, I'd be adding right here. I'd be adding one, but I don't have the average to allow for that. If I add here, my trail will be, or my new average will be above my trail. So I don't want to do it. If I had 2 down here or 3 down here, I could do it and it would barely scoot my average up. If I did it, it'd be like right here because it's 50%. Cool. Well, we're getting closer to that 500 in, like, no matter what. I'm trying to get there without it being too obnoxious, where my realized P&L will be $500. It's like, fuck it. No, I'd leave it like right there. I can't get it there just yet. What, let's see. Yeah, 30 seconds left on this candle. Let's see what this 1 minute looks like. It looks strong. Everything looks great. It's a good trade to be in. 4 hour looks tremendous. Like, that's exactly what you'd want for that external range liquidity right above it. I just hope we get the continuation through 10 a.m. I hope we don't start to go sideways a little bit. I mean, we did have a meme coin run right here. This is a meme coin run. This is not like, the index does not normally do 36 points like this. So it's fun. Enjoy it while it lasts, but it's not common. Want this to hold as a little pullback right here. This little area. Yeah, good morning so far. Good morning for sure. Let's see it. See it. I'm starting to realize that a lot of times this thing will start pushing just to kind of dig back a little bit once it gives that dramatic push because it knows I'm going to trail my stop and, everyone else, obviously, not just me, but it knows we're going to trail our stops. And then it kind of pulls back just to grab them, especially NQ. NQ is the worst. I almost hate it so much I don't want to trade it, but when it hits, it hits. So, yeah, what a highly structured run right here. Very explosive. Only problem is there's no, I mean, outside of the 5 minute, right? This 5 minute breaker down here, up here, there's not a ton of clear manipulation. So, you could start to think for a second it might want to pull back, but I mean, I'm long. I'm long on this fucking thing. This is going to be that other swing high that we had. Yeah, see, look, dude, this is perfect. It's exactly what we wanted to see. The 5400 held, right? And then now we're going for that 5550. I've only said this like 20 times yesterday. So about 100, how you doing? Trade's going too well, so I have to take a screenshot and post on Twitter just to jinx myself. Keep it interesting. Oh, I'm doing great. Sorry, bro. I'm like on a. I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm just typing something on Twitter. Yeah, yeah. You gotta hit with that reverse psychologies. Things start working too well. You gotta jinx it. I feel like people are too afraid to jinx shit, and then because of that fear, they end up jinxing everything in their life. Where I'm like, I hope I fucking jinx it, just because it'd be funny. Absolute meme coin. So if you guys find that the structure is too big, obviously, align with the bigger time frames, but you can always look at these smaller time frames. Like I'm looking at a 15-second right here, and you might think I'm crazy. No, you're crazy. It's just it works fine. You can actually get a whole ass different market structure if you look at it with 15-second. You had 3 tests of this fair value gap, but like look, you get this little hammer, and you can even trade it just to this high. Like that would be a perfectly fine trade. You don't have to catch the full move. If you know it's going higher, you could catch from here to here. And I mean, like, dude, that signal, location, trend, alignment, I don't think it gets better than that. Obviously, you could catch the bigger moves, but that's something that's more catching bigger moves is more based on experience and overall market structure understanding. But catching small moves, that's like high probability. Like you can make a lot of money doing that pretty quickly too. It's not like you have to trade for years to catch pieces like that. This is a very automatic move. But to know that markets are going to trade from down here to like potentially over 5,500, there's a lot going on there. Compared to a scalp could be pretty easy. So don't love this, but it doesn't matter really at this point. This is a massive move. If I was in with any amount of size, if it didn't chop around, like I'd be up probably about $1,000 at this point. If I still had like my initial, I think 5 or 6 that I had, dude, I'd be up big. I might have trailed a couple. I know I was moving my trails higher, so Yeah, very likely I would have still had a couple. Okay, that 1 minute candle is great, right? That's exactly what you want to see. When you see shit like this, like I know it sounds stupid, but like to me, this screams ad. I don't. I'm not. I won't. But that's what I hear. You know, you get this tight consolidation, you get a sweep of the lows, and you get that like flat top. Look at this. I'm looking at it like this. See that rejection candle? That's what I'm thinking. It just rips. And if not, like you're already trailing and you're like, let's see. Okay, now I'm over 500 for, yeah. Now I'll lock in 500 on the day. Nice. But that's what I see when I see these little consolidation breaks. Sometimes they go immediately, sometimes they don't. This might be a time where it stops, but either way. Oh, yeah, easy, easy, easy stop right there. Yeah, same. I mean, it was a super, super solid trade. I'm glad you caught a piece. I'm glad you caught a piece. You got a good amount out of it, $600-700 or whatever you said. That's perfect. Yeah, 630, probably about 700 with the trail, maybe pretty close. That's a good trade. Again, I think we're about to dodge the trail again. I feel like 50 Cent at this point. Just getting shot at and being unfazed. So I think we're almost there. We'll see. We got Discord popping. Are we out yet? I think we're out. Pull my screen. No, we're still in this damn thing. Wow. There's no way this holds. There's zero chance that this holds. Like, we're not doing it twice in the trade. Okay, thank you. I feel a little bit better. $500 on the day. Cool. Hopefully you guys caught something. I don't necessarily think the move's done, this, that, whatever. I'm done. It could still go higher. It could still go lower, whatever. It's just going to be without me, right? You could look at this a million different ways. You could look for an internal sweep. You could look to get positioned on a new 5-minute swing low formation. Personally, I am going to go ahead and be done for the day. There's no point in me continuing to push. I don't really care. I made $500. Works for me. So hopefully you guys learned something. You guys have any questions, let me know. Yeah, 725 on the day. Fuck yeah. Love that. Love that action. Boom. 725 on the day. Mix up for the L I took last week when I opened the new account. Accidentally took too minis. Ooh, yep. Hate when that happens. Fuck, I do that all the time. Try using that, not all the time. I've done it plenty though. One time was way too many times. So I've done it plenty. I've done it like 3 times, I think. Yeah, use that trade. What's it called? The restricted products in the risk settings. There's a restricted products tab, and you can block out like the big contracts if you want. That's a good approach. But yeah, good work, everybody. Glad you guys caught some. Solid trade. I'm gonna get this up on YouTube in a second. Yeah, can't really complain about much. So enjoy the rest of your day. It's literally only Tuesday, so make it a great week, guys. Later.